he's at a 16% chance. And then the Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, don't count Lamar out. The Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen. And then there's those Kansas City Chiefs. But I got to tell you, Joe, you see how we're going lower and lower on this list right here? I'm telling you, a nice little wild card down there. You plunk $100 back and get paid $1,429 back on Houston Texans.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
You've got an 18-1-6 hockey team. You've got a 10-2 football team. So the best record in hockey, the best record in football, and top 5 in the NBA with Jokic and the gang, and the Nuggets at 14-6. And I'm saying to myself, what other town comes close to that?
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You then had a sensational game with the Bears and the Eagles. Who knew how great the Bears were in terms of blowing out the Eagles and having the NFC race go topsy-turvy. And then you also had the 2 NBA games. So it was a big win, I thought, for Amazon for their first ever really big Black Friday day. I think it's something that we see them doing now forever on that Black Friday.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on Sports.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day on this fabulous football Friday here on the grid. Yes, we have football. Conference championship weekend has begun. We got 4 conference title games tonight, 2 getting underway in just a couple of moments, 2 that are already underway. We have a great college basketball game between Gonzaga and Kentucky. We got some Blue Bloods up in Boston in the NBA, and we got 5 hockey games to take a peek at as well over the next 2 glorious hours. So it should be a lot of fun and hopefully make a couple of shekels along the way. First up, though, it's game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, we're ready to rock this evening. I'm more ready than James Madison is tonight. James Madison on the outside looking in as far as the playoffs are concerned. I don't think anybody really thought they were legitimately going to make the playoffs. But with that being stated, if Duke knocks off Virginia, it really would open up the door for JMU. But you know, to be honest, I'm not sure they would win the FCS playoffs the way that they're playing tonight. 24-point favorites over Troy, only up by 3 right now, getting all that they can handle. Always tough when a team knows they need to win by a margin. I've said it before in the past. When a team knows they don't only need to win, but they need to win with style points, sometimes they get ahead of themselves, and so far Troy hanging around.
Yeah, and they got a gift 3 points anyway on a botched punt by Troy, did James Madison. Otherwise, they just scored. Otherwise, they would be tied right now. So, yeah, definitely a lot on the plate. Opening pickoff time. Here's where we run down our initial plays. We'll have a bunch of them throughout the show, obviously. But we'll start with college football game. I love this line, really do. Boise State, it's up to 5.5. It was 4.5 yesterday. May even be higher than that, depending on where you're doing your shopping here. But against UNLV, they're 10-0. They not only are they 10-0. Last time they lost, you got to go back to 1976, believe it or not. But they've beaten UNLV 10 straight, and they've outscored them 400 to 189, including earlier this year by 20 plus points. I don't see them losing. They don't lose on their own field as well. You know, they're 16-1 last 17 home games. Love Boise State to win the Mountain West Championship. Lay the 5.5 against UNLV.
This game is kind of a travesty in the sense that it really shouldn't even be played. Why is Boise State in the championship game? right? And UNLV got in, and it was all about computers. It was a bunch of tiebreakers, and the Mountain West decided on this. The New Mexico Lobos got screwed hard when it was all said and done. So it's kind of a fraudulent Mountain West Conference tournament game, championship game, to be honest with you. But you're right, Boise State owned them. I think UNLV are actually the better team this year. But with that being stated, they can't beat Boise. Boise's not losing in bad weather on a Friday night against UNLV. I think this is going to be, listen, UNLV can score on anybody. They're a terrible tackling team. They're a horrible defensive team, UNLV. Should be a track meet tonight, even though it's raining in Boise. I don't like the number. You know, there's been a couple of close games, not many, but there's been a few sprinkled in. It haven't been blowouts, like at least for the full 4 quarters, but it's hard to believe that Boise won't win the game. The spread is getting kind of crazy at 6, but I do agree with Boise. Let's rock.
Mm-hmm. Next one will be North Texas. Don't like laying wood on the road, but there's a reason why North Texas is a 2.5-point road favorite at Tulane tonight. They're the better team. That's really the bottom line. And I got a ticket on Tulane to win it all. You know, goofy little ticket I put in at the beginning of the year. I figured with Retzlaff coming over, they had a shot there. And they do, but this North Texas team is just, they're unstoppable, Gabe. They got the best offense in college football. They've scored 50 points 8 times this year. I mean, that is unbelievable. 4 of their last 5, they scored 50 points. You know, Tulane's offense is decent, but it's not at that caliber. I got the best unit on North Texas's offense versus Tulane's offense or Tulane's defense. Give me North Texas. I'll lay the 2.5.
I'm going to go with the over in UNLV and Boise State. I kind of almost like this better than the 6 points. As I stated, I don't think UNLV are going to get run out of the stadium or anything like that tonight. But history tells us that it hasn't been kind. Listen, Boise have their quarterback back. I don't think he's that good, Maddox Matson, to begin with, to be honest. He's okay, but he's better than what they had. All right, their backup was terrible, and they were really struggling. But we're talking about a UNLV team that scores 37.2 points a game, guys, and they give up 28 points a game. So let's do the math here. 59 slides up to 60 right now is a very manageable number. Let's go UNLV, Boise State over the number.
All right. My next one will be that same North Texas game. Listen, you got to go over, right? It's a huge number, 66.5. A lot is riding on it. Sometimes teams get conservative, but I don't think so. Like I said, here to put it into perspective, listen to what North Texas has scored this year. 52, 56, 53, 54, 55, 36, 45, 59, 51. I mean, I don't know how it stays under 66.5. Barring, Tulane maybe getting blown out and North Texas wins 40-7, and I really don't think that's going to happen. So it's a lot of points. We need 10 touchdowns, but give me over 66.5 North Texas and Tulane.
I like North Texas in this game. I like the over more, but I do think North Texas, listen, as you stated, North Texas, they've scored 52 or more in 5 of their last 6 football games, right? They put points up on the board. They will be able to score on Tulane. Then it comes down to, all right, who's going to be able to get more stops? Now, you could argue that Tulane will be able to get a stop here and there, but Tulane's offense, it's going to be tough for them to trade touchdowns like for the entire night. Their offense has flaws. Yeah, this, it's a toss-up game, and, man, the game is in New Orleans. They're fired up. Who would have ever imagined North Texas and Tulane will be playing for a playoff spot, as the winner will be going to the playoffs, not if. You win this game, you're in the playoffs. So it's as big as it gets. So you figure, wow, it's such a big game, really, and it's 66.5 right now. But it's 66.5 for a reason. This game should be a full-out track meet. Give me North Texas to win the football game, and let's go over the number as well.
All right, we seem to be on the same side of all these things tonight. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. My last one, I'll flip over to the NBA. I'll take the Clippers laying 1.5 at Memphis. It's been a disaster season for LA. Just horrible, right? But they got rid of Chris Paul, and I don't know the dynamics around it. They were saying he wasn't getting along with Tyronn Lue. Who knows? Supposedly they're buddies. Bottom line is, They had a game after that just yesterday, and they won by 30 points. Maybe it's addition by subtraction. Memphis stinks. We all know that. No John Morant still. I'll take a flyer that maybe, just maybe, it's an addition by subtraction thing with Paul. Give me the Clippers laying 1.5 at Memphis.
Yeah, it's a toss-up game. I wouldn't be blaming Chris Paul for the Lakers' woes. He was kind of a scapegoat because he was vocal. He basically complained too much, like in front of everybody, that they suck. Right? Tyronn Lue didn't like it that Chris Paul was sort of taken over as, I don't think, listen, Chris Paul's never been very popular wherever he's been, right? But he's not silent. Like, so basically, that's why Chris Paul isn't there. Like, Chris Paul was getting mad in the games after losses. Chris Paul would, like, get mad in practices because no one was taking it seriously enough. And Tyronn Lue was kind of like, it's not your job. Like, who are you? And they clash, so they throw him under the bus. I thought it was pretty classless today, too. I saw Ty Lue in practice mocking CP3 today. Not a good look for the Clipper organization. Blake Griffin tonight was just ripping them on Amazon or whatever the hell network he's on now. There's so many of them. Former players. Not a good look for the Clippers. I'm not saying letting him go, but letting him go this early, they didn't tell him, basically. He kind of found out. Like, no one told him. They never called him. Steve Ballmer never contacted him. It's a bad look for a Clipper team that's kind of already a laughingstock. I mean, dude, they traded SGA and 10 picks for Paul George, Scott.
Think about that.
Oklahoma City still have draft picks, and SGA's the MVP of the league. They gave Kawhi Leonard 2 max contracts and an under-the-table deal, and what have they gotten back?
Yeah. Nothing.
They have a nice new arena, though.
Yeah, that's true. That thing's
about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Ballmer.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I think.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the Best Bet segment. Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May. The Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott, game hour number 1. We are underway. We got conference championship football games, and I can make a case. Now, it's not realistic, but I can make a case. There are actually 4 teams that have chances to make the college football playoff that are playing tonight. Let's get some thoughts from our good buddy Colby Dant, the college insider, for sure, for us here on the grid. What's going on, Colby? How are you tonight?
I am great, man. I get a mixture of just a lot of great college football and college basketball on. Best time of year when you blend both sports, man. I feel like tap dancing. Let's go.
UNLV gets the ball first, right on cue. They start pitching the ball down the field. Boom. They're like instantly on like the 25-yard line type of deal, 35-yard line of Boise. And the wide receiver fumbles it. Trying to get a couple of extra yards, a couple of plays into the game. A disastrous start for you. Like, would have been a nice start for UNLV. Moving, and I brought it up, Colby, like, say what you will about the UNLV defense, but they can score. This offense is proficient. They put up 37 points a game, and it's not even raining right now, so I'm still buying in that this game will be a track meet. But, yeah, this game just started, and UNLV fumble as they were driving the ball.
Yeah, I think the thing to monitor is Maddox Madsen's health because, there is a big drop-off between him and the backup, as you've seen the past couple of weeks with Boise. So him playing, though, I'm with you with the track meet. I think there'll be a lot of points, providing it doesn't start, turning into a blizzard. But I took Boise also. UNLV's been playing Boise since, the 70s. They've never won in Boise.
Yeah. They barely beat them anywhere, Colby. They're 0-10. They lost 10 straight. All but one was by 14 points or more. They've been outscored 400 to 189. I added it up today. They're not even competitive. And they've had some halfway decent teams lately, and they still can't compete.
They gave up
last
600 yards the first matchup. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, even this year is kind of a sign of things to come. The Campbell quarterback. It's the best name, maybe. The Campbell Camels. They threw, their quarterback threw for 440 in the first game of the year against UNLV. So, but speaking of streaks, guys, how about this one? And we'll get back to tonight, but for the record, Ohio State had beaten Indiana 29 straight times.
That wow. And how
29.
About Indiana? How about also Indiana hasn't had they got a share of a Big Ten championship in the 60s. They haven't had an outright Big Ten championship, I think, since 46. Whoa!
Who would have thought, that they'd be winning football Big Tens for basketball years ago? Be that'll never happen. It's like bizarro world. There's all these basketball schools that have become football schools, and by football schools that you are better at basketball now, right? It's like the roles are reversed, but. What do you think of JMU start tonight? And Scott, you said 4 teams can make the playoffs. JMU is one of them, but this is less. And, I don't want to be cold, but it's true. You're a 24-point favorite. You're winning by 3 against Troy. Nobody's going to feel sympathetic for you to put you in the damn playoffs right now.
Yeah, I'm a skeptic that they can get there. I know the rankings say that, so I can see why Scott's saying that. But, I took the points in Troy, and I think a lot of it had to do with Bob Chesney, JMU's coach. I like him a lot. I covered him at Holy Cross. I think he's a really good football coach. I think it was the first great hire at UCLA in a while, even though he's got no familiarity on the West Coast. But I think his heart's in the right place. He wants to coach them out the rest of the year. But I also think human nature, just from interviewing all these coaches, the past couple of years, it's almost impossible. You're putting together your recruiting class, your transfer portal class, all your players. You're trying to recruit back. I just don't think it's possible to be laser focused with your own team while balancing another gig at this point of the season. Where now there's only one.
What about Tulane in North Texas, Colby? They're both leaving.
Yeah.
They're both leaving.
Why, in my opinion, that game's the hardest. That and Ohio State, Indiana, because you can't really understand the stakes. But I think even more so, North Texas, Troy, the hardest game to cap. I took Tulane just because they're at home. I thought the momentum of the crowd, and I thought North Texas's run defense is so bad, and they're calling for rain. So air raid team in the rain. But I still don't feel great about it because you have no idea the state of those locker rooms with both coaches being gone. And what North Texas, I think multiple coaches, their general manager also going, to Oklahoma State. So it's really hard to gauge at this point. It's something they got to fix in the sport because it's a terrible look for the sport.
Speaking of their manager, the biggest news in college sports, Scott and Colby, is that kid Aura. Trouble at NC State, evidently. Remember the kid that walked out with the boombox at McNeese State?
Yeah.
The student manager? He made a name for himself and stuff. He's still around. He's at NC State now under some sort of NIL dispute. We're in an era where student managers have NIL deals now. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this kid's 15 minutes of fame is long over.
Yes,
it was cool at first when he walked out with the boombox. All right, cool.
Who do you think is Cam Newton?
He's like 30. This guy, he's like 30 now.
Yeah.
It's like, let it go, kid. Like, you were all right. You had your run with me. State. Everyone will remember it. You got a little piece of the NCAA tournament. But I'm all kidding aside. But I can't believe this is a story this week. Aura is upset with NC State. It's like, all right, kid,
I'm
good
with
for you.
Do T-shirts or something. Do your T-shirts, all right? That we'll give you that. We'll give you that. But come on, what's going on here, man?
Who does he think he is? Cam Newton? Here's how I have it played out. Right, the Tulane North Texas winner gets in, right? As Gabe said earlier, before you came on the air, Cole, because they're ranked ahead of everyone else. So you would think, okay, unless something stupid happens, the winner gets in. They'll be the fourth or fifth team. If Duke though beats Virginia, and even Troy beats James Madison, that leaves the door open just ajar for either Duke, if they're going to beat Virginia, or Boise State tonight. And Boise State can say, well, we're better than Duke. Duke's got 5 losses. We only have 4.
Boise State's got 4.
UNLV, I think, is the better one you need to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That, and I said this earlier in the week, and I'm not saying that I think UNLV should be a playoff team, but Colby, it just kind of fascinates me that for a 10-2 team, no one's bringing up the fact that, you know what, they could win their conference and finish 11-2, right? I mean, we're hyping up we're hyping up these other teams, and UNLV's offense is first class.
Yeah,
wins against the MAC championship too. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would have ranked 50 teams, not just 25, because you don't know where these other teams stand. More with Colby Dan in a minute.
You're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah,
they lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. Colby Dant kicking it with us right now. So, Colby, did you touch the Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State game? Hell of a year for Kennesaw State. Exceeded expectations. You know, the 10-9 loss to Wake Forest to get the season going. Then they got lit up by Indiana, but then they just went on an absolute tear. But Jacksonville State have built this program up for a couple of years, and they're getting it done post-Rich Rod era. I ended up buying into the home dog here. They're down 7-0 right now, but a lot of football left in this game. Did you touch this game?
I did, man, and I went on Kennesaw, but my logic was this. They were a 3.5-point favorite on November 15th in the same very stadium. Kennesaw was. They threw 4 picks and had a fumble that game. And then I see Vegas sets them as a 3.5-point favorite, or 2.5, whatever it closed at, but it was 3.5 at one point. This week, I was just like, whoa, they're doubling down on Kennesaw. So both first-year coaches done phenomenal. Like I'd be lying to you if I had either of these teams in the CUSA championship in the preseason. So credit to both of them. But I went with Kennesaw mainly because I thought they were a little more battle-tested. You mentioned the Wake Forest and Indiana things. Like Jacksonville State got them the first time, but I kind of think they were kind of going through the gauntlet all season. I mean, considering they're in the CUSA. So I went Kennesaw. I didn't love the play, but I went in on Kennesaw. So it should be a good game though, man. I'll tell you, a lot of these CUSA games have been wacky all year, so should be a good one.
Speaking of wacky games, as long as we're on the subject right now, because everybody, well, what about BYU and Texas Tech? But what about the MAC championship? Miami, Ohio, and Western Michigan. Any interest in this football game at Ford Field?
Yeah, I mean, we only have a few games left, so, I mean, we got to bet these things, right? I mean,
exactly. Hell, I'm going to be betting the FCS games tomorrow because there's so 100% few of these.
I'm all over those things, man. Let's go. We can talk about those, too. I went with Western Michigan. Lance Taylor, this was a huge year for him because he came in the season a little bit on the hot seat. They lost the first matchup against Western Michigan back in October. I like the rematch. I like the rematch for the most part of getting the team that lost. And what I also love is the fact that Daquan Finn is no longer Miami, Ohio's quarterback. He quit the team a few weeks back after he got in an argument with the OC. Since then, Miami, Ohio, to their credit, their culture has won out. But that offense has been sputtering. They're going with the freshman quarterback who's, 2 or 3-0 now, I feel like, Thomas Gutowski. I just think it's a tall order to ask him to continue to win out because you look at his percentages, he's throwing like 12 of 24 like each game. I just don't think it will work there. And I also think this is the only group of 5 team that does the neutral site, which I disagree with. But normally these crowds have been empty in the past decade. These MAC championships at Ford Field. I think Western might actually have some fans that live in the Detroit area. So get more of a home crowd there. Western hasn't won it in a while since PJ Fleck, so I went with Western.
I think they're going to be fired up exactly for this. All right, you know what? Like I said, as long as we're on these games, all kidding aside, there was last week a lot of people, had a big laugh at the Ivy League's expense, especially in the first half last week, right? So Ivy League teams playing in the FCS playoffs for the first time, and we saw Harvard just got absolutely murdered and lit up, and Yale were losing 35-7 at the half, and people were like, well, this experiment is not working out very well for the Ivy League. Well, don't look now, but the Yale Bulldogs came back in one of the greatest comebacks ever. They won the football game 43-42. Now they got to go across the country into Montana State, and I haven't checked the weather, but I'm assuming it's not nice, so I'll check the weather in a second here. Montana State, 28.5-point favorites against Yale here, Colby. What do you think about this one?
Yale's been a great story. That was the best game of the weekend last week. I mean, unbelievable game, and their running back, Josh Pitzenberger, went off. All right? Shout out to Josh Pitzenberger. But, look, I love finally the FCS being, the Ivies being a part of the FCS playoffs. This is long overdue. But this one's a tough draw. Going to Montana State.
It really is.
This is asking a lot, especially in year one. You're building up for this. Maybe 3-4 years down the line with the Ivy maybe concentrating more on football a little bit more. So I'm actually going to lay it with Montana State. They're just too big on the line of scrimmage.
All right, we got 30 seconds, Colby. Out of the games tomorrow, which one do you like best for betting purposes? Me personally, I like Virginia and Duke to go over the number, but what do you like tomorrow?
Yeah, I like Duke on the money line. I think Virginia's been living on the edge the whole season. I think they've been living on the edge the whole season. I think Duke is going to beat them.
Wow, Duke Blue Devils cause chaos for the college football playoff committee. Bring it on.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May. The Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number one in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live game day continues. Scott Wetzel will rejoin us in a couple of moments. Let's bring in Mark Zinno right now. Following a Boise State Bronco touchdown. So Boise breaks the ice. It was a little slow start in this football game. Boise just scores, and as we speak, here's Tulane going for it on a 4th and 1 and getting it inside the North Texas 20-yard line. Mark, championship conference weekend has begun. How you doing, my man? What are you on tonight? What do you got rocking on these early games?
Well, I took James Madison team total over 34.5, but I also played him in the first half, minus 13.5. And these jackwagons decide to get all conservative and not go for it on 4th. Like, this is how you lose conference championship games, when you change your coaching style in a conference championship game from what you've done all year long. Like, they went for on 4th down more than anybody in the conference this year. And now all of a sudden in the Sun Belt championship game, it's like, well, maybe we should punt on 4th down. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, at least the one positive here is for the team total for JMU. The fact that Troy is scoring will keep them scoring. So if we can get to 35 here, I'll be very happy.
And we just got another touchdown. Troy just scored. In fact, I laid the points with JMU today. I was, I fell for the whole style point thing. But to be honest, Mark, I kind of knew. As someone that is watching this team play, I mean, look at the Washington State game, right? I mean, they've been kind of tight, like, over the last couple of weeks.
So funny. I played their team in that game, too, as well, under the same premise, playing a Power 4 team.
Style points, yeah.
Style points. Going to get over. Nope. I mean, I got bit twice, but the same logic and the same handicap and the same team, so shame on me.
Yeah, so today, though, I thought the total was too light. I mean, when do you see that, Mark, where a team is 24.5-point favorite, but the total is 46? Like, the spread was like more than 50% of the total, which is really rare. So I'm thinking, you know what, like you, I was like, JMU's getting into the 30s tonight, and they're not going to shut Troy out. This game is going over the number, and clearly it's on pace to be going over the number. We already have 31 points right now.
Gabe, Scott, the only other real play I thought about in this game, because I wasn't laying 23.5, I wouldn't do that with your money, was Troy's team total under, because in reality, James Madison's defense is better than their offense. It's the 5th-ranked defense in the nation in total defense. And so I figured they were going to keep Troy under their team total. Clearly not, as they're already at 14. So, I think this game unfolded just, bad handicap by me, but it unfolded completely different than I thought it would be. But you got to give Troy a lot of credit. They showed up in a conference championship.
Put Troy in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
I think we got Wetzel back.
Yeah.
Put Troy in. Troy win. Put them in the playoffs. If I was their coach after the game, I would go into coaches speak. I mean, like I tell you what, we're 9-4. We just beat one of the best darn teams in the country. Tell us why we don't. Like I would go into the hard sell. Arkansas State.
Not us.
Like here, come in harder than Troy.
Let's put it that way. They'd have a better record than Duke, right? And here's one of the great misnomers. It's one of the absolute best misnomers about gambling, folks. And that is, people seem to think, Gabe and Mark, that when it's freezing out, oh, these guys are too cold. They can't play. They're not going to be in any position to do this or do that. It's just the opposite. Think about it. If you're a defensive back and you're sitting there freezing your off, right? Do you want to go tackle a 225-pound running back coming at you, full speed ahead? No.
You know what, though, Scott?
They don't.
None of these games are cold weather games. We're in a wussified world right now where people talk about weather and stuff. Hey, Mark, like I'm not going to tell you, but like, people, oh my God, it's going to be 34 degrees. It's a weather game. Dude, like we grew up, it used to be ice. They play on like frozen sheets of ice and real weather games. You don't get real weather games anymore. I'm not saying global warming and climate change, but don't tell me it ain't warmer in the football world. It is. It just is. Like, there's no weather.
One of my best plays tomorrow is Indiana and Ohio State first half under 24.5. And I do wish that game was outside, because at least the elements would slow the pace down a little bit. The fact that it's indoors on an indoor track. Yeah.
Two great defenses, though, right, Mark? Right. That's your guy. I guess that's your handicap here.
The cold in the defense would help me out a lot better than the defense and the 70 degrees inside Lucas Oil Stadium. I still think the under comes in, but I'd feel a lot better about it if the game was outdoors, at a cold weather stadium.
How about that Virginia line, guys? How does that make any sense? Virginia is twice as good as Duke. Duke has not beaten anybody. You got to go down to 6th place in the ACC, which we know is not a great conference anyway, before you find a Duke victory. They feasted on everyone at the bottom. They lost by 17 at home to Virginia. Yeah, but who wants them to win? Honestly, I mean, I'm a conspiracy guy, and maybe you guys aren't.
And Memphis is a damn good quarterback, too.
Yeah, but does the ACC want Duke to win? They're not getting a team in the college football playoff if Duke wins. I'm not saying that everything's going to be rigged for Virginia to win, but I got the team that beat the other team on its home field by 17. Duke hasn't beaten anybody, and the ACC is going to get left out in the cold if the opposing team wins, and that line is only 3.5. I love Virginia tomorrow.
I kind of like them too. I don't disagree. I think that, the problem with Virginia, guys, is that they've been a little schizophrenic. Go look at the numbers they put up the first 6-7 games of the year, and then see how it tailed off the last couple of games this year. I mean, questionable games against North Carolina and Washington State. These are games on their home turf that,
pressure builds, man.
Blowing their opponent
pressure
out.
Builds.
They were very flat, and it just, for me, it was tough to believe that they were a team that, ultimately was as good as their record said they were.
They have a pretty good defense, though. They actually are. Like, they are an efficient team, like offense and defense. They're like top 15, which people don't realize. Has their schedule been a killer this year? No, right? But it's a dangerous game, Scott. Duke are playing with house money. And Manny Diaz is, pounding the pavement right now, demanding that they get in if they win this game, which they won't.
Wow. Yeah, there's no way, right? And there's no way in the world they get in. I mean, again, you look at who they beat. They beat none of the teams, outside of Clemson. But Clemson's in 6th place.
Okay, but let's say, Scott, it comes down to James Madison or Duke. Speaking of which, the Dukes are Duke. It's the Dukes are Duke.
The Dukes, yeah.
Like if they had
right
that
now,
choice,
ranking, it's James Madison.
Well, let me ask you this much: would Tulane?
Yeah, but eyeball is not looking too good against Troy right now.
I mean,
they're up 10. Oh, no, 3. Yeah, 3.
The American, certainly has a say in this. In reality, right? I mean, the North Texas, Tulane game certainly is going to prove to be a little bit of a. I think the winner of this conference is probably the one that gets in, especially if James Madison, ends up, laying an egg here. I think.
Yeah, you're right. The other thing is too. Sorry, I was going to say is that if everybody else, if there's no upsets, they're going to bounce BYU if BYU loses.
Yeah.
Right. You can just sort of see they're lining this up to bounce BYU.
Favorable scenario: Texas Tech wins, Virginia wins, and it makes it really easy on them across.
Yeah, they don't want. Yeah, they don't want. They don't want any.
They don't want Duke to win. It goes back to
but
nobody wants Duke to win except the Dookie Pukies.
BYU loses, it could find a way that Notre Dame and Miami. They want Notre Dame and Miami in, so they don't have to live with this moving forward.
Right. And that will happen. That will happen.
Alabama loses. They get out.
They're the one, Scott, that's really fascinating to me. They're so damn powerful, and they flipped out last year when they had 3 losses. They were better this year. Like they didn't belong in, and they lost it. Are they going to get in if they lose? I kind of get the feeling they are. I don't think they deserve to.
As long as the optics don't look bad and they don't get beat 35-7, which I don't think is happening. As long as they're competitive.
Look, they moved up a spot, guys, for beating Auburn, a 5-6 team. Right. Miami didn't get any credit for racking Pitt.
So,
and you're going to believe that they discussed that. Right? They said, let's give ourselves a cushion. We'll move them up ahead of Notre Dame.
You see, Narduzzi, Scott and Mark, Pat Narduzzi, head coach of Pitt, just played Notre Dame in Miami, and he was asked, which team is better?
I know. But do you really think he's going to go out and pick the team against his own conference?
What he said.
Well, that's the thing. He's standing up for the ACC, right? He said they're both great teams, but Miami's more physical.
Yeah, great.
You don't believe him, Mark? You're saying a college football coach would lie?
No.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May. The Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. The Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar. And Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott, Gabe, hour number one. I'll tell you the one good thing about this college football, it does remind me, Gabe, it's been a long time since we've had a real good college basketball debate on who's in and who got left out, right? Because there's so many teams. Whereas college football this year, I mean, you're looking at monster teams maybe not getting in. Alabama, 3 losses. Notre Dame, Texas, right? Miami. You're talking about blue bloods of college football, and you know, any combination of 2 or 3 of those might not get in. And I think that's what college football kind of wants to build. Okay, let's go to 16 next year.
Yeah, but it just gets worse and worse. So what, you want more 3-loss teams to make the playoffs? That's what we're going to say now? Hell, it was just 2 years ago Michigan won, and they had to be 15-0 to do it. Right? I mean, at what point? Oh, well, you know what? They played a tough schedule. Let's put a 4-loss team in. Because you know what? They're going to go to 16, and they are, right? They just can't figure out, like, who, you know, how many teams and this and that. They're trying to, and they're late with their format. They were supposed to deliver this on December the 31st to ESPN, so ESPN can announce to the world, hey, next year we're going to 16, and this is how it works. They're still fighting so much, right? So now they told them, we'll tell you by the championship game. So they'll announce it, like, in like late January, because they pushed this out. I'm against it, Scott. Like, I don't like this now. It's like, oh, well, so okay, you want 16 teams? Let's look at it right now. So what changes so much, Scott? The U.S. So are you pounding the pavement right now that the USC Trojans belong in the playoffs?
No.
Well, they would be in the playoffs.
But I mean, I wouldn't be against it. You're not putting Topeka High in there. You get Miami in there. Right? You get Notre Dame. You get Alabama.
Though. So, all right, we go to 16. So suddenly Texas, Vanderbilt, Utah, USC. So that's what we're missing out on.
Yeah. And Miami. Because Miami's on the
and,
outside.
you know, well,
right
Miami's 12. They're technically ranked 12th, though, like right now. They are ranked 12th in the poll, right, in the college football rankings. They just get leapfrogged by the other conference winner type deal, that wild card team, right? So
these conferences are
so
so like big. You know what the problem? The conferences are now
Scott,
so
are you crying that the Utah Utes aren't in the playoffs? They're 10-2.
No,
nobody's complaining about
it. Notre Dame gets in. I'll be complaining if Notre Dame doesn't get in.
But nobody, like I said, it's only like the high profile teams. People bitch about it, but. Yeah. So, all right, we go to 16 teams. That'll be the difference. USC, Utah, Vanderbilt, and Texas would be in. Oh, I'm not saying it sucks. They're cool games, right? And all this, but I don't know. Like, all right, so at what point we're going to put 4-loss teams in the playoffs? So you're cool with 3 losses? You go 9-3 and you're in the playoffs now? That's the new thing? So we kind of really minimize the importance of the regular season games.
Yeah. And the conference championship.
Like, what does the Big Ten championship game mean tomorrow? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
It means something to Indiana. You know, they want to win. They haven't won since 1940 or whatever the hell it was, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they've lost 29 in a row to Ohio State. They want to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Ohio State doesn't want to win, but what happens? Like even Ryan Day admitted it. He goes, I don't think either team, if we lose this game, will fall out of the top 4, and I don't disagree with him.
Yeah.
So they're still like, what's the game? Like, you know what I mean?
They could stay. Even Georgia, they could stay 1-2.
Yeah, but imagine if it was like before, Scott. We'd be like, oh my God, they're both undefeated, and one of them could miss the playoffs if they lose. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if the stakes were so high before, Scott, in these games, man. Like, it was like, you know what I mean? It was life or death every week. So we've really desensitized it. Boise just scored again, 13-0.
All right. It's amazing.
And then we go to 24 in a couple of years, right? Because, let's just be real.
I know. That's been proposed. Big Ten proposed that as well. You know, they said, you want 16? Yeah.
Then you get into the other teams. So then it's like, all right, well, Michigan's 9-3. How come these other 9-3? How come Texas gets in at 9-3 then? Right? You know, Arizona's 9-3. So that's what I'm saying. We expand it. Let's just say we went to 24. I would just do it to get it over with. If we went to 24, we would suddenly have Arizona, Michigan, Tulane, Houston, Georgia Tech, Iowa, North Texas, James Madison. There's your top 25. So one team would get left out.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. I listen, if it meant having it versus going back to BCS days or 4 teams, I'll do the 24. I don't really want 24. 16.
The BCS was never wrong, though. The BCS was never wrong.
Yeah, maybe. You know, who knows?
They screwed Penn
It's really
State
good
over
teams.
once.
Yeah.
Penn State once. Like, yeah, you know what? It went by the record, though.
Right.
But you are right about something, and I never forget this. Many, many years ago, I think it was on the Larry King show. Like, so it was a hell of a long time ago. I used to listen to the Larry King show all the time when I was a kid. And
Me too.
they had like one of the college football powers that be on and stuff. And Larry was saying, you know, it's kind of ridiculous that people vote on your champion and that there's ties and stuff, right? And remember the championship game, one of the greatest college games ever with Nebraska and Miami, and Osborne could have went for the tie. And he said, screw it, I'm going for the win. I'm going to go, yeah, exactly. Today it would be like, no, let's go for the tie, and you know what, we're safe. He said, screw it. But the guy said, you know what, yeah, but you're talking about it right now, and it's the middle of the summertime. Right? They like the controversy, Scott, the college football committees. They love it. They like it. They love that ESPN and everyone debates and we're talking about it right now, and like Notre Dame or Miami. Like, they love it, Scott. They could care cares like craps about who's better. They want attention. Like, let's be real. Like, and they get it. They get it.
They've never been confident in their own sport, carrying this sport. It's always been, we got to create controversy to carry this sport. And I've always
and
said,
there's never been a sport, Scott, that has changed their championship format as much as these people do, if you think about it. Imagine today's day and age, people accepting the champion is the AP champ and the coaches poll champ, and you're going to accept it.
Yeah,
you're the national champion. We got to wait and see what the media says.
Say about it. Yep, you're not going to have to say about
We're
it.
going to see what the voters have to say about this.
Yeah,
they were pretty good though. The voters, it was pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't think I would ever see a change in my lifetime. I really didn't, to tell you the truth.
We used to have co-national champions, guys. There used to be 2 of them. Be like that.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I zig.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave. Yep. He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe closing out hour number one. What is football? Yeah, I'll say this. This is old school football as far as time-wise. You know, Troy, James Madison, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State started almost 2 hours ago. One is just reaching halftime, JMU and Troy. And the other one is
Troy JMU halftime, man. It's been a long halftime, Scott. It's been halftime for a while there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I doubt they have
forever.
We know they don't have like Metallica or Rihanna doing a halftime show of a Troy James Madison game. So I don't know what the hell they got going on here. There doesn't seem to be a weather delay, from what I understand.
Am I the only one that thinks it's funny that the Sun Belt Championship is being played in a snowstorm right now? I think that's kind of funny as well.
Yeah, I like the irony.
It gets cold
of all places, too, that it's actually exactly where it's snowing. In Boise, it's fine right now. Like, in Boise, it's fine.
Yeah, Boise is fine, and wherever they're playing the Sun Belt Championship, it's snowing. They're throwing snowballs at the officials.
The officials are so dumb earlier, and I'm on JMU, but the kid on Troy was punting from his own end zone.
Yeah,
and he was getting pelted with snowballs as he was punting.
And he shanked it.
Yeah, and he shanked it after, but like there were a lot of them. Like they were flying right at him and stuff. Yeah. And credit to the kid. He should have turned around and said, hey, like he should have told the ref, like, listen, you got to do something about this. Like, they can't be throwing snowballs at me when I'm trying to punt. The ref just stood there and let it go, and the kid punted with the snowballs being thrown at him, and he shanked it, like Scott said. 30-yard punt, like went to the 30-yard line only. But Troy are hanging around in this game. But we've seen this with JMU. We saw it against Washington State where they dial it up in the second half. Total's 54.5. We're up to 31 right now. You know JMU need to end this game strong. Like, they will not stop trying to score as the game goes on, knowing that a playoff spot is on the line potentially. So, I'm already on the over, Scott, 47. I think it's going to go over. It's kind of light to me at 54.5 here. And we're seeing Troy are capable of moving the ball today.
Yeah. I heard you talking to Mark about that. That's right. I mean, you had a big number, and it was only 47. That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, but 24-point point spread, and the total's 46.
Yeah. Did not think Troy was going to score at all. I mean, you got to figure they were good for 10, 14 points, right? And James Madison, you said they got to run up the score. They got to worry about style points. It's a dangerous thing, mind you, but, up 10, fourth quarter, 7 minutes left, they're going to be throwing the ball because they got to win by 17. They got to win by 20.
How about this? I got an update here.
Uh-oh.
So we got a 7-7 game. North Texas were moving the football inside the 20-yard line, but the running back fumbled. And Tulane picked it up and returned it, like 50 yards type of deal.
Wow.
First down Tulane on the North Texas 37-yard line. The scoring sort of slowed down. It's 7-7. It's early in the second. It's 13. Oh, here's a big run for Tulane. I say the scoring slowed down, Scott. The kid just picked up about 25. Yeah, 20. He's on the 10-yard line now. No, it's not. Right. God, it's like the Eagles. It's like a rugby scrum. It's still not down. They just pushed the scrum all the way to like the 4-yard line. The refs let it go. The stadium's going crazy.
7-7. Yeah. How about the North Texas kid didn't start? I mean, we talked about this, at the end of the year. It's an old story, but the kid couldn't start in high school. The quarterback in North Texas, 2 years later, redshirt freshman. He's the number one passer in college football.
He was the walk-on fifth-string quarterback in high school. This kid, Mestamaker,
yeah. So kind of goofy there. But that North Texas offense, I did like them. I'm a root for Tulane because, like I said, I got that ticket. I'm not going to be able to cash it, but just to be able to have
touchdown
I got
Tulane.
Texas Tech. Wow.
They just scored
14-7 or 13-7 pending the extra point.
There's going to be points, guys. North Texas will score, right? They only scored 7 points, but they would have just scored. They just fumbled. They were moving the ball, but they fumbled the ball, so they will score. And Tulane's offense is looking very crisp tonight, man. They got a playoff spot on the line. They're playing at home. And how about the irony, too, Scott? I was thinking about this not being talked about, but I would love to see it if somehow BYU and Tulane got in the playoffs, that they played each other. Retzlaff got kicked off at BYU for having sex.
Right. I mean,
and he went to Tulane.
Yeah. Have you looked at the BYU codes? Like, you can't swear. You can't have tattoos. You can't have long hair.
More than that.
Facial hair. You can't do
You
anything.
can't.
How the hell do you recruit a kid? How do they get anybody to go?
You can't drink a soda. You can't drink like a Pepsi or a Coke. You're not allowed any sodas. You're not allowed caffeine. You're not allowed
no
coffee,
no tea. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That'd be crazy. Hour number 2 coming up.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I zig.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success.
Right.
The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott and Gabe, college football.
Pick off here.
Main story. Ooh, what do we got?
There's more games.
We need some points here. What do we have?
No, I'm saying pick off with more picks, actually. I'm like, there's a second wave of games coming up here at 9 o'clock. Let's rock. I don't know if you're betting anything here, but let's get it going here because there's a hockey game dropping the puck in a couple of minutes.
All right, that's where I'll go. I'll start with Vancouver. Maybe that's the game that you're thinking about. I'll take the Canucks plus 110 against Utah. It's really more of an anti-Utah.
Man, we have all the same picks tonight.
Yeah, it's a lot. I don't know why. It's just this Utah team's getting a lot of respect with the boys in Vegas. We've seen them favorites, but I'll take the Canucks plus 110 at home.
I'm going to take the Canucks as well. Listen, the Canucks are in dead last right now in the National Hockey League. Right? They're actually they're 10-14 with a bunch of whatever, overtime this and overtime that, wins, losses, but they're 10-14, which isn't like brutally terrible, but they have the least points in the NHL suddenly. I don't know if they can turn this thing around, to be honest, but if it's ever going to happen, they play hard. You saw the other night with Colorado, man. It was 1-1 in the third period. They were in it, and give me the Canucks tonight, Scott, as well at plus 110. And I'm going to surprise people on this one. Actually, go with your second pick, but I got a second pick for this game. But yeah, what's your second pick?
I got a second one. I'm going to go over 6.5. Vancouver's been an over machine. Utah did score 7 goals against Anaheim last time out. Maybe things are turning around a little bit. They gave up a ton of goals. They scored some goals. So give me over 6.5 Vancouver, Utah.
I'm going to go under 6.5 in this game. And it's kind of dangerous to do this in a Vancouver Canuck game. because they are like one of the top over teams, them and the Montreal Canadiens to the over. Yet they're having a hard time scoring, Vancouver, right now. And they've been better defensively. It's not for a lack of trying. Like, they've definitely, like I said, they held Colorado to 3 the other night. Like, they've definitely there's an effort. You could tell, like, guys, we can't live like this. We need to be better defensively. Get the effing puck out of the zone. They have been, but the Canucks have a hard time finishing. They don't get a lot of shots on goal. They get outshot all the time. But with all that being stated, give me under 6.5 Canucks and Mammoth.
All right. I'm going to go right back to the my new favorite team, the Anaheim Ducks. They got whacked the other night, 7-1, 7-0, whatever it was, to Utah. I don't know what happened that game, but they're hosting a really hot Washington team that, kind of got out to a real slow start to start the season. We thought this was going to be the end, and they really turned it on. But and they've beaten the Ducks 5 in a row, but who hasn't? Anaheim's generally been bad for the last couple seasons. But you want to give me plus odds with Anaheim, first place team, I'll take them, even though Washington is 5-1 their last 6.
I'm going to have a pick for that game momentarily. Let's go. Actually, you know what? What do I have here? I guess I'm on the hockey here as well. You know what? Capitals, Ducks. I'm going to go over 1.5 for the first period here, Scott. Both explosive offensive teams. There's going to be goals scored in this game. I'm not a big hockey over better. I don't like needing 7 goals in a hockey game, but I am a big over 1.5 better in the first period. I don't mind doing this. Let's go over 1.5 with the Capitals and the Ducks in the first period.
All right, last one for me. Actually, a little NBA. How about that? Don't do this too often, but give me OKC laying 15 against Dallas. Dallas playing a little bit better ball. Anthony Davis is back, but he's an injury waiting to happen. And OKC hasn't played in 3 days. So came back from beating Golden State on Monday. They've had a couple of days off, which makes me think you're going to get an absolute prime Friday night. What else is going on at OKC? Effort out of the Thunder. And if that's the case, they only beat Dallas by single digits last time. Maybe that'll just get them concentrating a little bit more when they beat them earlier this year. 10 of the 21 wins for OKC this year have come by 15 points or more. Basically half their wins by 15. So lay the 15 over Dallas tonight.
I've got a pick in this game. Just quickly, as far as the first periods are concerned, Scott, the Anaheim Ducks this year, 16-9-2 to the over in the first period. Right? So they are a very good first over period team. But with that being stated, Washington are not. Washington are actually 16-12 to the under in the first period. Right? To the under. But Washington kind of struggled to start the year. They've been playing better hockey over the last month or so. And I'm telling you, they're one little tidbit here. Russians are banned. There's a lot of Russians on the Capitals, right? And you got Ovechkin as well. They're banned from the Olympics, right? It's getting like a motivation for them. So, like, coming out of the break and stuff, because keep our eye on the Capitals. They won't have players in the Olympics. Last year, they didn't have a single player in the Four Nations, Scott. They took it personal, too. Oh. They were like, this is it. You know what? We don't have one guy. You don't think one of our guys is good enough, like, to play in your tournament? And look how good the Capitals were last year. Like, they took it personal, and they were rested and stuff. Kind of a similar situation. I get the feeling that, like, Ovechkin is actually motivated by, you know what? I don't, kind of like Crosby. Like we talked about, Crosby won't leave Pittsburgh. He's got the Olympics and Team Canada, and he's got big games to play in. And, like, Ovechkin doesn't. He's banned from international play. So I can sort of see him starting to dial it up a notch a little bit here. The Caps are on a little bit of a roll, but I still like the over 1.5 for the first period. And give me the over. We hit this the other night, Scott. If you guys remember, 2 nights ago, we gave you Klay Thompson over 10.5 points. And we said he's gone over the number. Now it's 9-3 to the over in the last 12 games, 7 of the last 8. They did move it a point, so it's 11.5 tonight. But I'm going to ride the wave here with Klay Thompson. He's taking a lot of shots. They're going to be getting blown out tonight. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to shoot the basketball tonight. Let's go over 11.5 points for Klay Thompson tonight.
All right. I have a one college basketball game. I don't know if you do this game, but I just did it with this one, right? I had the over in Gonzaga and Kentucky, and I kind of forgot what the number was. I had a general idea, right? And I see the score, 94-59. I'm thinking, all right, I hit that over, 94 points. And then I start doing the math, and I'm like, well, wait a minute now. 94-59, that's a 3. To carry it over, that's only 153 points, and the over-under was 157.5 or so. I was like, fudge.
You know what? I got lucky on this one because I was going to bet the over of the game. I missed the tip-off getting caught up with, I don't know, football or whatever. I bet it in-game a couple of minutes in, 150 and a half.
Yeah,
I got 150 and a half, so I end up getting there. But how about Kentucky? Another embarrassing and big-time loss. Like, they just got murdered. 94-59 on their home court. Wow.
No, that was in Nashville. There must be some kind of
sorry. In the South. Sort of neutral, but it was a home home turf game for them. You know what I mean?
Kentucky, Nashville, a little closer than Gonzaga, for sure. Yeah. I tell you, it's funny with the Zags. I'm telling you, I watched them play a couple of times, had some plays on them, and I just walked away. I wasn't impressed. And, man, ever since then, they're just beating the snot out of everybody.
Well, how good is Michigan? Because look at Gonzaga, like you said.
By 40.
Gonzaga easily beats they played some real teams this year already, Gonzaga. Like if you look, they beat they beat Kentucky, they beat Alabama. And in big wins too. They smoked Maryland, right? They beat Arizona State. Like they've only lost one game this year, and they lost by 40 to Michigan, 101-61. Yeah. Michigan play Rutgers tomorrow.
Ooh. At Rutgers, at the rack, that'll get ugly. Rutgers isn't good this year. They had those kids last year, but even then they weren't any good. So without them, they're really not any good. But
the wheels are falling off for the program, yes.
Yeah.
It's in Michigan. It's not at the rack. It's in Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan are 22.5-point favorites. That's the problem. Like, sucks as a Michigan fan. Like, it's like liking a band that were cool and you could see them in bars. Okay. Now everybody likes them. The word is out on Michigan. Every Johnny Jackass in the world thinks Michigan's the best team in the country now. And now we're like 22.5 points.
Yeah. Now they're unbettable. Listen, you beat Gonzaga by 40. You deserve some credit.
Dude, they beat Gonzaga by 40, Auburn by 40, and San Diego State by 50 or whatever. So, they have to make this number.
Yeah. Can't make the number high enough. Boise State scored again, but locked when I Boise might be wrong. Love to climb back.
You're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And the Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe checking out the little NHL, little NBA, some college basketball, and obviously the college football taking center stage tonight. We got 5 games tomorrow and then the 4 tonight. As I mentioned before we went to break there, Boise State scored again, 21-0. 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Now they're laying 27.5. It's always a bad sign, Gabe, when the team is leading by a certain amount and the point spread is that much higher. Like they didn't, as a 3, 4, 5.5 or so point favorite. If you're up 21-0, sometimes they'll make it 16.5, 17.5, assuming the other team's going to make a little bit of a run here. But they're not doing that with Boise. They're giving it's 21-0, and if you want to take them, you got to lay 27.5. So they are really thinking like UNLV is cooked tonight.
And you know what? If you're Boise, we haven't talked about them. You brought them up briefly as far as the playoffs. I don't think they're not going to make it to the playoffs, but they're not going to take the pedal off the metal here. They haven't had a great year. It's a chance to really end with a bang and just sort of remind people that they were still Boise State. Don't forget about the recruiting wars as well, right? Kids are flipping and decommitting and like all kinds of stuff is going on right now. It's recruiting week this week. Hell, it's wild if anyone that follows this recruiting stuff. For the record, I don't know if you know, Scott, who had the number 1 recruiting class in the country.
In college football
might surprise
this year?
Yeah,
Don't tell me Boise. I wouldn't think Boise.
No. USC Trojans.
Really? Yeah. Listen, Lincoln can recruit Lincoln Riley. Think about all the quarterbacks around college football that transferred out of there because there were so many quarterbacks there. The guy can recruit, he just can't win a big game, unfortunately for him. So, I heard you talking
tough
about
in the Big Ten. Moving forward for him as well. But he's not going to give up. All he can do is just keep stockpiling. But yeah, this is according to Rivals, which is pretty much the Bible of this type of stuff. USC 1, Notre Dame 2, which I can't help but get a kick out of Brian Kelly saying I can't get players at Notre Dame like I can. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Maybe they just don't like you, Coach. It seems that Marcus Freeman's getting them. Oregon Ducks number 3, Alabama 4, Georgia 5, Ohio State 6, Tennessee 7, A&M 8, Miami 9, Texas 10, LSU 11, Michigan 12.
Wow. That's pretty. If you're in the top 25, now it's up to you to develop, those players.
Yeah, like you said, the top teams all sort of have equal talent. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gets overrated too, the 5-star, 4-star type of stuff. Honestly, the team that Michigan won with a couple of years ago was basically all 3 stars. Right? Not even 5, not even 4. It was basically all 3-star, really, really good players, but not like the 5-star, top guy at his position in the country type of thing and coming out of high school. But I noticed this year, Scott, Michigan had more 5-stars than we ever had before. It's also the first time I've ever seen Michigan players fight with each other on the sidelines before. And I've said this, Scott, when you bring in these 5-star guys, they're more about themselves, bro. The NIL stuff, I'm going to the NFL. Yeah, if you transfer, a kid transfers over, what does he care about the rivalry that you have and all that? To him, it's dude, you're paying me $2 million. So I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get these mercenary players that don't really care about the program as much, and then you lose a little. So I think it's a fine line between, because a lot of teams, Scott, have 5-star guys all the time, and it doesn't mean they win, right? Yeah. So a lot of teams have good recruiting classes.
Yeah, every time you turn around, you hear about it's another 5-star quarterback, and you look at him play, and it's this guy sucks. 5-star.
Well, the Florida Gators are ranked 13th in recruiting. Florida State 14th. All right, well, you guys suck on the field. You got all these recruits, but you don't win.
Yeah. So, field goal Tulane, 17-7 over North Texas.
Starting to rain pretty hard there. It wasn't. Now, though, it's starting to come down in New Orleans. I'm not saying it's the end of the world, but it is starting to rain there. Who would have thought, Scott, that North Texas would be held to 7 points? I'm not surprised Tulane have 17, but I'm shocked that North Texas only have 7. And they scored on their first drive easily, just marched down the field and done nothing since.
I mean, this is a team that averages over 40 points a game. We talked about it. They score 50 points like it's nobody's business. 17-7, 5.5 minutes left to go in the second. They had some turnovers, I heard you say. I wasn't watching. I got the James Madison game on and flipping the channels here. That one loss they had against South Florida, they did the same exact thing. they were going up and down the field. They get in the red zone and they turn the ball over, and then South Florida ended up scoring a bunch of points. And it was like they had a shootout, 50-25. But that's how they screwed up against South Florida. And I wonder if they're just doing the same thing with Tulane. And Tulane is just running the clock, using the ball, eating up the clock, and then doing what they have to do. But 7 points.
Yeah,
wow.
Tulane they are chewing the clock up. They're running the ball and just sort of, they're passing it as well, but they're definitely systematically chewing the clock up. And the second half is off and running right now at James Madison, and it's more of the same. More of the same right now. James Madison just had to punt the football. Troy's getting the football back. Point spread down to 10.5. We got a 17-14 game right now. In-game total, 51.5.
Man. They don't win, then that really, if it ends up, being an upset with Duke, then that really would open up the Pandora's box for some of these other goofy teams. So I still think they're going to win, but I put them in a 10-point tease too. I figured for sure they were going to win by at least 14. Yeah. I'll look good right now.
No, that's 10.5.
I hate those teases, man. I love it. I do well with them in the NFL, but college football, it's just
college sports not good for teasers. Rarely, depends if it's a money line down to a pick 'em type of thing or something like that. But for the most part, they're not good. Yeah, I wouldn't take a 24 to make it 14 type thing. It's too erratic. College, right? It's the NFL numbers are sharper than college numbers. Look at North Texas. No one predicted that.
Right.
And look, Boise are about to score again right now, for the record. They're looking for more.
Wow. It's going to be over by halftime.
They just did.
27?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
I had a good read. I could just sort of tell, Scott, because I was almost convincing. I was almost getting scared of Boise. I'm like, man, UNLV, you're getting 6 points. They'll trade with them.
Yeah.
And, it's no, they're not. But when I saw UNLV get off the bus today, actually, they didn't score. My bad. I thought they just scored. When I saw them get off the bus today, I was like, these kids are in big trouble tonight.
Yeah. Must be something about the blue turf. Amazing. More coming up.
You're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success.
Right.
The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe checking out everything, including NBA, where the Celtics just beat the Lakers 126-105. That was a blowout from start to finish. No LeBron, no Luka. And, one thing we failed to bring up last night, we were doing the NFL stuff, obviously, with the Thursday night game, but how about, did you see the box score for the LA Lakers last night? Did anything jump off the page for you? How about that, huh?
We talked about it 2 nights ago where I said, there's no way in hell he's scoring 10 points in every game. It could happen in the next couple of games. I didn't think it was going to happen immediately, especially, what's wild? That it happened on a night that Luka was out.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like, you would figure, okay, you know what I mean? There's a night Luka goes off and, but no, he was on the court a lot. But with all that being said, they still won the game. And LeBron owns Toronto. He's always owned Toronto. And LeBron was the one that threw the ball to Rui Hachimura that hit the freaking 3. And the Raptors are actually losing right now to the Charlotte Hornets. But you're getting plus 130 on the money line. There's still 3 minutes left in the third quarter of play. It was just plus 145, but they're only down 6 right now. I think the Raptors will still win this basketball game on their home court. You're getting plus 130 on the money line. I suggest taking the Raptors for people tuning in if you're looking for some NBA action.
Yeah. Tell you, the NBA overcompensates for playing back-to-back games way too much. Especially if you're at home. It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. They were only 7.5 or so point favorites. And now, like I said, they're down 6. It's still a third quarter, and you're getting them plus money. I mean,
we talk about the NBA stars not playing. Like, look, LeBron wasn't injured last night. Well, you know what I mean? He could play tonight, but he's never liked Boston, right? It's no secret. He's never liked Boston, so he figures, all right, screw them. But, like, imagine, you got the win if you're a Celtic fan, but you bought tickets to see LeBron and Luka, and neither of them are there.
I mean, and how much do you think those tickets were going for this offseason, right? They knew Jason Tatum wasn't going to play, but still, LeBron and Luka, Boston,
Dude, the
LA,
cheapest
Laker
ticket
rivalry.
the other night for the Raptors the other night, but this was before people knew Luka was going to be out. The cheapest ticket was $364.
Wow.
Think about that. That's the cheapest ticket. That's for the upper deck to see the Raptors and Lakers. So imagine people paid that in Toronto. Didn't get Luka. LeBron, I guess you saw LeBron's streak come to an end, but then the Lakers won the game. It was a bad time for Raptor fans.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's going to stop this. Yeah, it's
nightly, though. They decide what cities they'll play in. And like I said, LeBron, I get it. It's back-to-back, but it's still, they don't have Luka. They figure out, listen, Bron, we don't have Luka. We're going to play you, but we'll only play you 25 minutes or something. We need
play
you
the
tonight.
Fourth quarter. Yeah,
but I guarantee, I said, LeBron has never liked Boston. Remember, he said, I would never play in Boston. I don't like blah, blah. I've never liked the Celtics in my life. And it's ironic because he owns the freaking Liverpool soccer team with John Henry, right? But anyways, so that's LeBron, big hypocrite, right? He doesn't, he hates Boston, but if it's money. But I guarantee you, LeBron ain't thinking tonight, I feel bad for some kid in Boston that I didn't play tonight. He's screw the people of Boston. He could care 2 craps. He doesn't care. Like I said, the Warriors do this to Sacramento all the time. No one plays in Utah. Players are like, you know what? Nah, I'll take this night off if I'm going to take a night off.
Right.
And the teams encourage it. They allow it.
Yeah.
And then they find the Cavs of all teams, Scott. They picked on Cleveland the other night. They find the Cavaliers. You see that $250K? They said that Garland could have played, but he didn't.
Yeah. Because it was a nationally televised game. And that's the NBA, right? If you do it on another game, well, who cares? Go ahead. Take off. But if it's on a TV, then we got to make sure everything's on the up and up. So, yeah, NBA. That's it, man. Out of all the sports,
this would never happen with David Stern. Adam Silver, he's too nice. Silver's this guy, but they run right over him. And he threatens them, and he's I've always called him like a substitute teacher, Scott. They don't listen to him. He wags his finger. You better not do this. And they're like, whatever, dude. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to stop us. You're not going to, look at even the Clipper thing with Ballmer and stuff. I mean, he did.
Yeah.
He paid Kawhi $40 million under the table to run a landscaping. What, you think Kawhi was out there cutting grass?
Cutting, right?
You know what I mean? Right? He got paid $40 million, Scott, from a landscaping firm.
Yeah.
What does Silver do about it? Nothing. Yeah, nothing. No one cared. I said at the time to Pablo Torre online, I said, this guy's wasting his time. Nobody will care. Every NBA owner's got shady deals going on, and they all know Silver won't do anything about it. Like, they don't respect, like, they just run right over him, Scott. So, like, Stern would, like, tell them, I'm going to kick you out of the league if you sit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. Lazy.
Now you're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, I don't. That's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had like recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success.
Right.
The Jags, it's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Got a couple more points on the college football board. We got a safety for Kennesaw State leading Jacksonville State 12-0.
I've been riding Kennesaw State all year, Scott, and I didn't take them tonight. I got cute, and I took Jacksonville State because of the home field, and they always beat them. And I was like, these, you know what I mean? These Cinderella teams, they usually lose these games, right? They get to the final, and they kind of, it's like, we had a great year, but this team, the Jacksonville program's more advanced. They've been good for a couple of years now, playing at home, getting shut out, like you said. And, I was getting 3. They are right now, though, where they're on the 12-yard line right now.
All right.
And one thing Scott, with Jacksonville State games, their games always do get weird late. Right. They do have weird endings to their games. So they can score a touchdown here, make it 12-7. Maybe we got a puncher's chance, but they won't be kicking a field goal for a cover, right? Like, there's only 10 minutes left. So we're going to need 2 touchdowns. JMU still only winning 17-14.
Yeah. I got that game on, too. They're moving the ball a little bit now.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like you said, they're a midfield type of deal, but
yeah. They're
not going to cover.
So I didn't get that line. That had a sucker line written all over it, right? They Jacksonville won 10 straight at home. They crushed them early this year. They annihilated them last year, 63-24.
They trapped us. They invited us to take Jacksonville State, and we fell for the trap.
When I got it this afternoon when it was 2.5, when I saw that line go to 3, I'm like, you know what? I must rip up my ticket. It's gonna be it. I just know it, right? So, but yeah, JMU's not covering the 23.5. unless something crazy. They won their last two Sun Belt games by 48 and 49 points too. I mean, they're nearly getting 200 more yards than their opposite. They killed everybody in that conference, and it's not happening tonight so far.
I'm getting worried about my total of 46.5, 47 here in this game. We had 31 at the half. I was feeling pretty good about it, but nothing has happened. We need a big play from JMU, right? I still think they'll score again, but how many more times are they going to score? Now suddenly Troy hasn't scored here. Here's a big 3rd and 10 for JMU. Looks like they're going deep, and it's intercepted.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, they just topped the line 48.5.
The ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage. It was one of those popped up into the air, Scott, linebacker. Right. Someone picked it up like easily. And he returned it to the JMU 20-yard line or so.
Wow. They could lose this game. I mean, talk about screwing up an entire season. When you have a chance, a realistic chance of getting in, sneaking in there if Duke does win. That would really – I wonder about the motivation. I think a lot of these coaches have secret
This is why
deals
you got to wonder.
I'm going to stay around, but they're going to leave after the game.
This is why you got to wonder tomorrow about Virginia and Duke. That's why that game is a big trap. Whenever there's a game where all the pressure is on one team, it's tough for that team, right? The other team has nothing to lose. Duke have nothing to lose tomorrow. Virginia have a playoff spot on the line. Like, Duke could potentially make it. Like, same here with JMU. They've got everything at stake. Troy have nothing to lose. They can play loose, right? It really puts teams in a different mindset.
Question is, does Texas Tech get in if they lose tomorrow? I don't think they will, but it wouldn't shock me.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah, Like they're not going to fall all the way from 4 to what are they, 4 now? They're not going to fall away out of it. They're guaranteed. The committee loves them.
Yeah, I tell you, if that happens, Alabama better win, because I got a feeling they're the odd man out. Right, you got to put Ole Miss in. You got to put Texas A&M in. Obviously, Georgia's in. Who's the other team? I'm forgetting in the SEC. A&M, Ole Miss.
And honestly, it's kind of a shame that we have to put these other teams in. I mean, I guess I don't know. You can argue, can Tulane play with people? I mean, North Texas, is choking right now against Tulane. How would they do against a real team? Right. I mean, so. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of it is what it is. We'll give credit to Tulane. Tulane are playing good ball. So what just happened here? It actually, you know what? That's a live ball.
Which game? Ooh,
you know what? This is going to be Tulane's ball inside like the 5-yard line. Like, things are falling apart for North Texas. Tulane just punted the ball, Scott, and the ball bounced around, and for whatever reason, the kid had his back to the ball, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? Wow. Like, he's facing the end zone, and there's all these Tulane kids that are facing the ball coming towards them, and the ball bounced and hit the kid in the leg, and the guy in Tulane fell on it after. Like, this is gonna be Tulane ball inside the 5-yard line.
Wow. That's I gotta flip that game on.
Which could help the total. I mean, if they punch this in. There's only 50 seconds left in the first half. This could be a big backbreaker at the end. And now Troy just goes for a field goal and misses. 17-14. He misses by a mile.
Ooh. That's a tough one.
I would have preferred he made it. I have the over. I would have preferred to get this to, just give me more points since JMU aren't going to cover the damn spread.
Yeah, at this point. Although I'm still going to get my 15.
It's just a bad football game, that game. Hey, touchdown Jacksonville State.
Yes, I saw that, yeah. 12-7, 10.5 minutes left. We're
back in it at home. We're back in it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I don't even care exactly. I don't care if they lose 12-10. That's fine.
I'll take that. Boise went right down the field and scored again.
All right, so that total's back on track. 28-7 now. In-game total 66.5.
Yeah, 68.5 on FanDuel. Crazy. James Madison Troy is down to 45.5.
Wow. Troy really, man, you got to take advantage of that, Troy. Like, you got the ball first down on the 28-yard line. You got nothing out of it. And if you're JMU, you got to score now. Like, you got to send, like, at some point. Like, okay, you're not going to win by 24, but this is, you might lose this football game as it is right now. But Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, this is almost the entertaining one down the stretch here. And we'll see, Scott, UNLV have $150 to work with. Their offense moved the ball, like, relatively easy on their last drive. We'll see if they can punch one in and make it 28-14 before the half.
Yeah. Even 28-10, get Boise to feel a little uneasy going into halftime. We got to keep on, the pedal to the metal type of situation. I'd even take that at 21-10. So I think we're okay with the over on that one. I see Tulane.
Turnovers have been a problem. Yeah, turnovers have been a problem for North Texas this year. This is, this is what, when they lost, this is what beat them, right? They turned the ball over. You just can't do this. Yeah. You got a championship, you got a playoff spot on the line, man, and you just gave them the ball because the ball bounced off your leg on a punt. That can't happen, right? And, we'll see if they punch this in.
They've thrown for 98 yards only and only 17 yards rushing. You're talking about, the number one offense in college football, statistically, obviously.
Tulane's
and they
defense.
Got barely 100 yards. Wow.
This is what worried me, Scott. Not that Morris isn't a good coach, but Summerall is really good. This guy is going to Florida. I think he wanted to send a message to the Gator fans. You got a real one here. You know what I mean? Look what I just did here with this. This is impressive. Shutting down this offense like this. You know what I mean? Very impressive.
Yeah.
11 seconds left.
He took a chance, coaching this game. With North Texas' offense, if you told me 50 points were put on the board, I wouldn't, blink an eye. And how's this guy going to go down to Florida knowing his team lost 50-20 if he coached this game?
That's
right?
the thing.
So,
entire Gator Nation is watching this and judging this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Exactly. So, he gives up 1 million points. They're going to be like, how is he going to stop LSU or Alabama? You know what I mean? Who do we just hire? Who do we just hire? That's what I was thinking. I was like, Summerall's got more at stake, and I think he's more advanced than Morris is, who's going to Oklahoma State. Speaking of which, Penn State gets their guy, and Matt Campbell leaves Iowa State.
Yeah, I like that, actually. I do. That's what George Curtis Hopkins is coming up.
You're a 1 o'clock guy again, huh?
Well, I didn't know I have to appease you.
What do you mean appease me? I'm trying to get a read on you.
Well, that's it. I don't want you to get a read. I said.
Okay.
What are you? You're on me like flies on rice.
Well, I once watched you destroy an NFL team's season because you zagged so hard in the best bet segment.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The New England Patriots with Drake May, the Indianapolis Colts, who haven't had recent success, maybe not so young, but not, they haven't had playoff success. Right. The Jags. It's a very fresh playoff picture, so to speak. And Chargers hanging on right now to that 5. And Kansas City, Scott, they're going to need to beat the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now it's real.
Yeah.
They lose this game, they're not making the playoffs.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Ole Miss got left at the altar, and Ole Miss decided, I'm either going to let her continue to embarrass me, or I'm going to have some self-respect and kick her ass out the door and lock it behind her and not let her back in. And that, for me, is the right thing to do. Lane Kiffin had the right to leave.
Yep.
He chose to leave. I wish you the best of luck. Not really.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
And FanDuel are getting ready to launch their own prediction market, so Polymarket will be coming back at a time when the competitive landscape is dominated by Kalshi, and soon it's going to have FanDuel and DraftKings in there as well, which I'm really eager to see what their products look like and how the timing kind of impacts the use of Polymarket. Will it be number 1 in the App Store for the next couple months? Who knows?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. Let's talk a little football here with our good buddy, Mr. George Kurtz, a little hockey as well. Sports Grid host you see in here all the time on the Grid. What's going on, George? How are you tonight?
That didn't go well if you're a Cowboys fan at all last night. The Cowboys do what the Cowboys do, right? So we'll see what the rest of Week 14 brings us.
What do you like this weekend? What stands out for you so far?
Yeah, it's an important weekend, right? Obviously, I like the over in the Buffalo-Cincinnati game. All right, I don't know if either team's going to be able to stop the other here. I think the Bills will win the game too, but I haven't decided that. I think you're in a survivor pool, by the way. This late in the season, I'm taking Cleveland. I like Cleveland to beat Tennessee. All right, at home. I don't think Tennessee's going to be able to score that much here. I don't know if I can bet the under in that game. I mean, it's 34.5. That's a little crazy for me. Don't know if I can do that. Those are the early states, the first two things that stand out. They're going to get a lot of points in the LA Rams-Arizona game. Mike Wilson, by the way, we could take his props again with no Marvin Harrison playing. Brissett's probably going to throw the ball 1,000 times in that game as well. So I kind of like that. And as far as the late games going here. But I don't know if I like too many games as far as pick 'em games here. I think it's a little tougher here. I don't know what to think of the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. Which offense shows up?
Oh, touchdown! So they went for it, fourth and goal, 3 seconds left. Tulane were on the goal line. They could have just kicked a field goal, but they said, screw it. Ballsy call. Retzlaff runs it up the middle for a touchdown. 23-7, extra point pending right now.
Wow. They're going to be down 17 heading into halftime. We'll see what the lines are. That'll be interesting.
At least there's some points there. Just for the record, you want trends. The Buffalo Bills have won 13 consecutive 1 o'clock home games. Josh Allen is 13-0 at home in a 1 o'clock slot. So he's got a little run going back. But if you think back to last year, guys, Joe Burrow is actually 8-0 in his last 8 starts. So, and the Bengals are back in this thing. And the number's up to 6 right now. I wouldn't lay 6 with the Bills here, I'll tell you that. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it will be a track meat.
I agree.
George, what do you think right now? Gabe and I were talking about the Bungles last night, right? And tiebreaker-wise, they hold a lot of tiebreakers, and their schedule's not that difficult, or it's convenient for them, long story short. So they're 100-1 to win the Super Bowl. If they beat Buffalo this weekend, where are those odds dropping, do you think?
If they beat Buffalo, they have to win out, right? This is one of their tougher games here. Right. I mean, it's not going to go 10-1. I was going to go 60-1. Maybe it drops down almost half to what it is now.
I'll say 40-1.
Yeah, I'm thinking 50-1 too. Yeah, 40, 50, 60. So is it worth? So the question is, do you wait to get the outcome of the Bengals? Because if they lose, the season's over.
But you can make the argument, Scott. I said the same thing about both teams. The Buffalo Bills won't be 10-1 if they win this game. Suddenly, the Bills, man, they win a couple of games. People want to give Josh Allen, they want to build a statue, and no one could beat them. They lose a game, and people want to fire McDermott. The Bills are 10-1 right now. If the Bills win, I think they're going to go to 6-1. So I think, going in, I think you could take take them both even, Scott, if you wanted to. But, yeah, if you're taking Cincinnati, now's the time to do it. Right now, now's the time to do it. Because they win this game, then they're right back in this thing for real.
Yeah. They win tonight. They play Baltimore next week. So theoretically, they can, Baltimore loses Sunday. They tie with Baltimore. Then they finish up against Miami, Arizona, Cleveland. I mean, this is the game. If they can beat, I don't think they can beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo will win a close high-scoring game here. But if they can, I mean, getting 9 wins is not out of the realm of
beating Buffalo. They beat them the last time we played. As a Bills fan, it hasn't been right. They lost the Cincinnati one into Buffalo and beat them in the playoff game. The game that they played right before that, when Hamlin went down, Cincinnati was going to win. They were going up and down the field on them, right? So the Bengals have won. They will throw out the 17 games. So 20. They played. So that was the only time they played in the modern era, basically. Bengals won 24-18 and 27-10. So Josh Allen hasn't beaten Joe Burrow.
I mean, Josh Allen's going to be Superman and win on Sunday too.
How about the Steeler fans? Calling for the head of Mike Tomlin once again. Listen, they're 6-6. They're in first place.
But isn't that the problem?
They get fired.
They do this every year.
Right. They're always 6-6. They'll go 9-8.
Right.
I'm sure they will. And it's the same thing. I love Mike Tomlin. Okay, and he can coach the Cowboys anytime he wants. I'll fire everybody for Tomlin, but I do wonder if he's run his course in Pittsburgh. It's not all his fault. They can't get him a quarterback. They really have had no answer since Roethlisberger retired here. It's an aging veteran or this guy, that guy, but never a true plan here. And by the way, that's also because they keep going 9-8, so they're always picking 16th, 17th. Right, and they can't get that top 10, top 8 guy or top 8 pick to get a guy there, and I guess they won't make the necessary trade to go up and get the guy here. And I don't know if that trade does that change next year? Who's going to be the starting quarterback next year? It's not going to be Rodgers, not going to be Rudolph, and they're not going to have a good draft pick for it. So was it Kirk Cousins? So it just makes you wonder if when.
Yeah, but they created this. They created this own cycle for themselves, right? Once you sign, you saw it with the Jets. Same thing. It's like Aaron Rodgers, right? He goes there and it was a wasted year, and then the next year you're screwed, and then you find yourself in this sort of repeat, rinse and repeat. And look at the Steelers: Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers. Right? They drafted
touchdown.
Jacksonville State. Scrappy team. I told you, Scott. Their games are always wild at the end.
Yeah.
And now this is good, Scott.
I hope they don't make it.
Yeah, we don't want them to get it. Yeah, because there's a better.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, it's better if they don't. And then we just, 13-12. And then if Kennesaw State kicks a field goal to win, we cover the +3.
Oh, cover the 2. I got 2.5 either way.
Yeah, the last thing we need, Scott, is overtime 15-15 crap like this.
Exactly.
Yeah, just end the damn game.
Exactly. So, very nice, boys. Very
and
nice.
UNLV are punching back. UNLV have scored again. 28-14.
That over looking real good. Real good. George, great job, buddy. Sorry we cut you off there. We're just all excited about our Jacksonville State plays here and the UNLV.
Yeah, money comes first, man. Money comes first.
Yeah, that's all right. George, great
1-0
job as always,
Utah
man. We'll do it
after a
again
period.
soon. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, George.
Just can't quit Josh Allen. He's at a 16% chance. And then the Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, don't count Lamar out. The Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones and Shane Steichen. And then there's those Kansas City Chiefs. But I got to tell you, Joe, you see how we're going lower and lower on this list right here? I'm telling you, a nice little wild card down there. You plunk $100 back and get paid $1,429 back on Houston Texans.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
You've got an 18-1-6 hockey team. You've got a 10-2 football team. So the best record in hockey, the best record in football, and top 5 in the NBA with Jokic and the gang, and the Nuggets at 14-6. And I'm saying to myself, what other town comes close to that?
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
You then had a sensational game with the Bears and the Eagles. Who knew how great the Bears were in terms of blowing out the Eagles and maybe having the NFC race go topsy-turvy. And then you also had the 2 NBA games. So it was a big win, I thought, for Amazon for their first ever really big Black Friday day. I think it's something we see them doing now forever on that Black Friday.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 circuit sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So good news, bad news. Thanks again to George Kurtz for joining us. The good news is the touchdown did count for Jacksonville State, but if you saw the replay of it, they clearly had two guys in motion. I don't know how they didn't call that, but they did get the 2-point conversion. Guy made a hell of a catch, one-handed catch, falling backwards out of the end zone. Got his foot in, so they are up 3. Which leads, with 4 minutes left, it does lead to that possible, overtime situation, which you just don't want that, especially when you're getting 2 or 3 points, right? That's just got disaster written all over it. So, but at least they're up 15-12. 33.5 is now the total. They're laying 2.5. And UNLV scored again. So just before the half. So that the 28-14, we got a ball game there. And that over-under game's up to 72.5.
Yeah, I like the over of this game. We're in on the over already. I already got paid for Boise State, actually. I had Boise State in some money line parlays, nice. But since they were up by 17 or more, we've already been graded to win. I actually have a Boise State money line parlay with James Madison that I didn't think I'd be sweating out, but here we are right now. Yeah. But I'm gonna go over the 72.5 in UNLV and Boise State. We see that UNLV have definitely woken up. They've got confidence now. Right, they've scored, I think, on 2 of their last 3 drives. They are able to throw the football. They got rattled early in this game. They fell behind 21-0, but they've shown a lot of fight here. Right, look, the second quarter, it was tied 14-14. That was the score in the second quarter. So I sort of think this theme continues as the game goes on here. We're already at 42 right now. I think we do get over the 72.5. And North Texas and Tulane are down to 61.5 now, Scott. But we're at 31 points. Yeah. And Tulane have done a nice job of bleeding the clock, and they're finishing the drive. So it's not like they're killing the total, right? I mean, it closed at 66, but I think 61.5 is more than reasonable. I think it's going to get there. North Texas can't screw around now. We're already talking about an explosive offense. They're going to be in, pedal to the metal, hurry up, for the rest of the football game, which could lead to turnovers as well. So I think it's going to go over. I still think we have a shot at the over 66.5 still, but I like the over 61.5 here still.
Yeah, I like that, and I think North Texas has got to make a run. They're too good. They're too explosive.
They're getting 17.5 right now.
17. Yeah, I mean that's basically, well, not basically. It is. It's even a second half. I mean, you don't see a team win the first half by 17 and then basically just be pick 'em second half. I mean, usually
and
it's
they were favorites in the game.
Trailing. Yeah. So you tell me they're going to get completely blown out?
No, I like them in the
second. I got to see that, Yeah.
They might lose. They're going to lose the game, but they're not going to tap out and quit. There's a playoff spot on the line.
Yeah.
This is
touchdown. Good chance to just.
We're talking about an offense that scores 40 points a game, right? They've got to dial this thing up.
Yeah, has to be. So, and I think we're going to get to 42 in the James Madison. I know we had a scoreless third quarter, but they just begun the fourth quarter. They got the ball at the Troy 34-yard line, and they're still. We got 31 points, and they're still giving you 41.5. I can't help but think we're going to get 11 points in this fourth quarter. So I like that one a lot. I like the original one, and I still think we have a shot at getting the original one. I really do. So give me the over 41.5 in Troy, James Madison.
Oh, boy, 4th and 1 for Kennesaw State on the 36-yard line. We would have been better off if they didn't get the damn 2, man. 15-12, it's just brutal. We would have been better off 13-12.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Maybe they missed the field goal attempt. It is college, right? I doubt this kid's going to make, a 48-yarder. This is the game, though, 4th and 1 coming up here. They're going to have to go for it. They're not going to try a 53-yard field goal.
Is the punt to the field goal kicker? Because if that's the case, we got a shot at him missing after seeing that punt earlier in the game.
Well, the kids are throwing snowballs. Throw some snowballs at the kicker, too, the field goal kicker, as he tries to kick. It'll make it easier.
Help us out here a little bit. So,
and James Madison's really having a hard time here. Now they got a 4th. Where are they? They're stalling here. They can't complete passes, and they're in nowhere's land here, where you don't really want to punt the ball back to them, but they're too far for a field goal. They're on the 33-yard line. Maybe they try a 50-yarder, Scott, but this is getting real now for JMU. They're only up by 3 still with 12 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, man, they can be just absolutely blowing it. Just blowing it. But That's football. Give me a lock for tomorrow real quick. Who do you like? Mine's Virginia.
Let's go Duke, Virginia over 57.5.
Not bad.
And Georgia. Give me Georgia to beat Bama. Georgia beats Bama.
Yeah, I think the favorites do well tomorrow. I really do. All right, in-game live, game day on the grid. We'll talk to you tomorrow here on the grid.